Welcome back to That's It. So, as everyone knows, that I've been covering Sean Diddy's trial case from the beginning, and a lot of witnesses has testified against Sean Diddy Combs. The first victim was Cassidy. She, gave told her story, what happened to her when she was in a relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. As far as Cassidy's mother, Virginia, she testified as well. um, Diddy's personal assistant, um, what's his name, David James, which he worked with 2007 to 2019. Then you have Don Richard or Don. I don't know which last name people are pronouncing it, but she also testified against Sean Diddy Combs, one of the prostitutes as well, or male escort, pardon me, Cherie Hayes, aka the Punisher. Kid Cudi also testified as well. The security guard from Intercontinental Hotel back in 2016, I believe his name is Cruz. Last name is Cruz. And I'm very terrible with names. Very terrible with names, but absolutely good with faces. If I see someone, I can recognize them a mile away. But terrible with names. That's why I jot things down. Also, who testified, Daniel Phillips, Dr. Donna Hughes. She's a clinical psychologist doctor who testified as well. And what really struck me the most about this trial, even though it's very early, it's going to be 8 weeks long. It'll probably be shorter. We don't know, or longer. What really struck me the most, and why I don't know why. I'm not going to say why the prosecutor have not mentioned this particular name yet, but I get what the prosecutor is trying to do and trying to paint how Sean Diddy Combs is. He's a monster, obviously, and he's a woman beater, even though this trial is not about domestic violence. But the prosecutors are showing the jurors, paint a picture of what type of man he was, what he's capable of, how he hurt women and beat them and forced them to do things that they're not willing to do, and then they were willing to partake in some of the illegal activities, illegal stuff that they've been doing. Now, I feel like the prosecutor is like, showing the base, meaning like, how like you bake a cake, there's different, there's levels of baking a cake. There's the base, there's the you get your eggs, you get your flours, you get your sugar, you get your milk, and then what flavor you want to make the cake, and then there's like layers after layers after layers, and that's what the prosecutor is doing to paint what type of man Sean Diddy Combs is. And that's what they did with, victim number one, which was Cassidy, because that's what happened to her in the beginning. She's the one who filed the lawsuit in 2023. She's the one who made a way for everyone else to tell their story and what happened in the hands of Sean Diddy Combs. Now, why am I saying this? Because there's victim number three, okay? Apparently, like I said, she's nowhere to be found, and her name is Gina Hung. She's nowhere to be found. She's definitely not going to testify anymore. Now, I don't know if she got scared or someone threatened her or she were paid off, but it seemed like she's not going to testify against Sean Diddy Combs, which is very, very odd and suspicious to me, because she was willing to testify and she was in the indictment, but now all of a sudden, poof, no more, gone. She's MIA, she's nowhere to be found, and she is just not going to testify, which is very odd, and I want to get to the bottom of it and know more information why she backed out of not testifying against Sean Diddy Combs. It could be a lot of different reasons, allegedly, that, she was paid off, someone scared her, someone threatened her. We don't know for sure because they're not giving us any information about that. But I'm really surprised with the prosecutor how they're not adding Rodney Jones, aka Little Rod. If you guys haven't read his lawsuit, I recommend that you read it, entirety, okay? Because I read it and it is damaging. The stuff that he said in his lawsuit, and I'm very surprised the prosecutors have not use his name or put his name on the list for him to testify against Sean Diddy Combs, maybe they will. You know what I mean? Maybe they're waiting for the best for last. You know what I mean? Maybe they're trying to get all their ducks in a row and get all the witnesses to testify, and then they're gonna have Rodney Jones testify last, or maybe they're not going to use him at all. But reading this, reading his lawsuit, it's part of the charges that Sean Diddy Combs is getting charged for. It is, you know what I mean? Even though there's other people are testifying and saying that, Sean Diddy Combs did this, he did that, he beat Cassidy, he abused her, there was drugs. I get that. I get what picture they're trying to paint. But at the end of the day, this is not a domestic violence trial that Sean Diddy Combs is. He's in trial for 3 counts of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, and and blackmailing people. And the third count is transportation to engage in prostitution. That's what he's being charged for. And it takes one out of those 3 um, for the jurors to plead guilty, and then he's done. Okay, they had one of those 3. Okay, and my thing is with Rodney Jones' lawsuit, it's just incredible that the stuff that he has said, and he has proof of the stuff that happened when he was around Diddy. And people don't know who Rodney Jones is. He's a producer that produced a lot of artists, including Sean Diddy Combs, especially his Love album. And he stayed with Sean Diddy Combs for a while. So this man, Rodney Jones, probably seen a lot and witnessed a lot of things that's illegal. And on top of that, in his lawsuit, which I'm going to read to you, okay, that it says, as a result of Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and auto recording of Mr. Combs, his staff, his guests, engaged in serious and legal activity. To me, that's like a smoking gun here. If this is really true in this lawsuit and Rodney Jones is telling the truth, then this man has proof of what's been going on in Sean Diddy Combs' home when he was staying with him working on the Love album. And why the prosecutor is not using that? Again, I'm not sure. I'm just putting it out there and just thinking maybe they are, and then they're just waiting for the best for last, or maybe they're not. Supposedly, Rodney Jones, he's in hiding. Now, is it in hiding out of fear of Sean Diddy Combs and his goons going to threaten him and kill him? Or is he in hiding because the FBI is keeping him in a safe place, putting him in a safe house until they're good and ready to use him to testify? It's a possibility, you guys. It is. I hope it's the second option, that the FBI have them in a safe house and have him protected and have him safe until they're good and ready to use him for him to testify. Because reading this lawsuit, you guys, oh my gosh, is damaging. It's damaging, especially if he has hundreds of recording and people that were in Sean Diddy Combs' home, guests, his staff. Incredible. And another thing, why they're not using Kristina Khorram? Okay, she is the chief of staff of Sean Diddy Combs. She is like the AKA of Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, and if anyone don't know who Ghislaine Maxwell is, she is the girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein. Excuse me. Okay, when she was running a whole sex crime operation and helping Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, and it's the same thing with Kristina Khorram. Okay, she was like Diddy's right hand woman. Okay, she's the one who supplied the drugs to Diddy, supplied the drugs to other people that were in his house, drugging them without their knowledge. She is the key witness to all this. Now, is she going to testify against Sean Diddy Combs? I'm not really sure, because the prosecutors have not said anything. Is she going to turn on Diddy? Did she work the deal? You know, just like the personal assistant did. He worked the deal with the FBI and the prosecution in order for him to testify. So then it doesn't go back to him. So he doesn't go into prison. So maybe she's working a deal. Maybe she's going to flip and turn against Sean Diddy Combs. We don't know. We don't know 100% sure yet. All we know is that woman, she is the key ingredient of this trial, because she has seen everything, what has happened, what has transparent throughout the decades, because she worked for him for a long time. So you cannot tell me that she don't know anything. She has not seen anything. Yeah, right. Who are we fooling here? Okay. Now, continuing on. Jones has secured evidence of dispute, evidence of like drugs that's were involved. You know, ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms. All this was just distributed of unregistered and illegal firearms. Now, people are going to say, well, it's not legal. It's not legal to have firearms. You can have firearms. Yes, you can have firearms as long as legit firearms, as long as it's not illegal firearms. Now, the FBI, when they raided Sean Diddy Combs' house, they found several firearms in his home, but the serial numbers, everything was scratched off. Now, if there were permits and if they were legit, why scratch them off? Obviously, he probably bought them off from a black market or from someone else. Why would you scratch it off? There's nothing wrong having firearms as long as they are legit, period. Now, according to Little John's can't speak lawsuit, there was a shooting happened in 2022. Okay, a shooting of this man G, they called him, and apparently Sean Diddy Combs and his son Justin Combs had some type of altercation with the gentleman. Okay, and I just want to read this to you to make sure I get everything right. Okay, so there was like an altercation between the gentleman with Sean Diddy Combs and Justin Combs in the bathroom. Apparently, I don't know what was the issue what transparent, but little Rodney Jones was in the bathroom in one of the stalls, which Sean Diddy Combs and his son was not aware of. So there was some beef, there was something going on. Next you know it, bullets were flying in the bathroom. Boop, 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 bullets. And he was scared for his life, okay? So I just want to read this to you, what he said in his lawsuit, which is very, very incredible. One evening during this camp, Mr. Combs and Justin Combs and G were in a heated conversation. That conversation moved out of the studio into a restroom to where Mr. Jones was sitting. Okay? Bear with me. Mr. Jones was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when gunshot rang out. Mr. Jones recalled hearing multiple gunshots. Mr. Jones immediately went into a state of shock and fear that he would be shot next. Mr. Jones generally believed that he would be shot through the door due to how close he was. After the shooting ended, the crowd gathered around the restroom. When the door finally opened, Mr. Combs and Justin Combs exited. G was laying on the bathroom floor in a fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out of his leg and his hip area. Okay? Now, no one didn't call 911. Everyone was just staring at this particular man, G, while he was bleeding to death. Okay? Now, this popped up. Okay? This was back in 2002. Sean Diddy Combs was not questioned by the cops after the 2002 shooting. Isn't that strange that there was a shooting occur in the studio and nothing was reported, nothing was, Sean Diddy Combs wasn't questioned. I believe, my theory was that Sean Diddy Combs had the LAPD paid. He has them on their payroll to make things go away, to clean things up if something would have happened. Because why wouldn't they question Sean Diddy Combs after that shooting? Very strange. Then next you know it, okay, I just want to read this to you. On September 12th of 2022, a shot rang inside Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles music studio. Producer Rodney Little Ron Jones Jr. said in a silver suit that Combs and his son Justin Combs allegedly walked out following the gunshots, leaving a third man named G bleeding on the floor in fetal position with a gunshot wounds, like I said. Okay, continuing on. A police report painted a far different picture than the one described in Jones' suit. The shooting following an argument among three men inside the building, as Jones' suit alleged, or was it the result of an attempted robbery outside that had nothing to do with the music mogul, as the police report indicated? According to Jones, Combs insists that insisted that he tell the police G has been shot by a drive-by outside rather than after a heated conversation inside. Really? Continue on, and I'm going to give you my theory. The police report obtained by the U.S. Today confirms that Sean Diddy Combs was inside the studio when the shooting occurred, but doesn't list him or his son among the people questioning. 4 men have been charged with the shooting and attempted robbery of G, along with strings of other crimes over an 11-month period beginning in December 2021. According to the information filed in the Supreme Court of the California and Los Angeles County, oops, that's another one. Okay. Is this one? I'm just trying to think, make sure I got the same thing. So I'm reading to you. Okay, there we go. Police collected surveillance video from the nearby business that showed G struggling with another man as he got into his car, but not by the shooting himself. The report does not indicate any attempts by the officer to obtain security footage from the studio. All four men have pleaded not guilty. Charges against a woman initially charged in the case have been dismissed according to the court records. Okay, so let's stop right there. Oh, sorry. Sorry, you guys. Oh my gosh. You would think technology would just give me some grace, and it's not. Don't know why. This is not clearing up. There we go. Okay, this is another one that I want to. I'm sorry, you guys. I thought I had this all together, but it seemed like. There we go. Sorry, you guys. Okay, did it. Sorry. So, what I just read to you was a lie. No, let me not rephrase that. Not a lie. What was told was a lie. Excuse me. What was told was a lie. Because how can the police officers say that this was a drive-by shooting when there's evidence, meaning that Rodney Jones recorded the incident and there's auto recording of the incident in the bathroom? So why would the police say, according to Sean Diddy Combs, that, oh, this was a drive-by shooting incident, when Sean Diddy Combs even said to Rodney Jones that, tell the police officer this is what happened. This did not happen inside the studio. So basically, Sean Diddy Combs wanted Rodney Jones to lie. But Rodney Jones was not lying because he even said it in his lawsuit that that's not what happened. This what happened. This what happened. And I don't know. And again, like I said, the LAPD has Sean Diddy Combs. Sean Diddy Combs have the LAPD paid, okay, to falsify records for them to lie about that this gentleman G was shot outside of the building instead of inside. So he knew someone, Sean Diddy Combs, he knew someone from the LAPD and said, I need your help. I need you to clean this up, clean this situation up. And sure enough, that's what happened. So they paint this picture to make it seem like this man G was shot outside when he was actually shot inside. And on top of that, that Rodney Jones had proof of that. Now, I just want to read to you what CBS News said about the shooting, which is so incredible because basically they fabricated the story because the story was not even true at all. But I just want to show you what they said. This is not it. Just read that. Sorry, you guys. And let's keep going. There we go. There we go. So this is from the CBS News. A man shot outside party at a Hollywood recording studio, which that is not true at all. Okay, that's a lie. You know why? Because Rodney Jones took pictures, you guys. Yes, he took pictures of the event of the shooting, the aftermath, which I'm going to show you the aftermath. Whoops, this is not it. Sorry, let me scroll up. Going way too fast. There we go. Now, this is the aftermath of the shooting. As you can see, you see blood on the floor. You see blood on the toilet seat. You see, I believe that's a shirt or pants. I'm not 100% sure. So as you can see, Rodney Jones was not lying. He was telling the truth of what happened, and I'm going to read to you what it clearly said. Okay, it says Mr. Jones has the clothing he wore that day and believes it may still have the stains and DNA of G's blood. The following of the screenshot of the aftermath of the restroom where G was shot by either Mr. Combs or Justin Combs. Clearly, G was not outside. Really? As you can see, he's not outside of the studio. As Mr. Combs instructed his team to report the law enforcement. Let's stop right there. Like I said, law enforcement. So, like I said, he has a law enforcement, LAPD, in his back pockets to do his dirty bidding. This is why people don't trust the cops, especially in LA, because they're so corrupt. They're so corrupt and they're money hungry, and they will do anything to have a quick buck instead of doing the honorable thing. The right thing is to question that person who got shot and arrest them. But no, they just care about just getting paid, just having extra money, and just corruption. That's why people don't like cops, especially the LA cops. They're the worst. They're the worst. LA, Chicago, even majority of New York. Now, there are some good cops out there, because I just want to praise to that. There are some good cops out there. I just want to make that very clear. But there are some dirty, corrupt cops too that are looking for a quick payday and make things go away, which is utterly disgusting. They don't even deserve the badge that they honor. They don't deserve the badge at all. They should just, anyway, don't get me started. Let me continue on. Mr. Combs and the defense provide private security of the writers' camp and defense. So basically, what Rodney Jones was saying is true. Because again, he was next inside the bathroom. He was in that stall, you guys, and he heard and recorded everything. Okay, everything. And I just want to show it to you again. That is the aftermath, the bloody scene in that bathroom when Mr. G got shot. Now, according to Rodney Jones' lawsuit, this man, Muhammad, it seemed like he's a guy that cleans things up and make things go away. Now, apparently, Muhammad, he used to work with Michael Jackson, rest in peace, king of pop, love his music. Now, he's the guy, when there's a problem, that they call this guy to clean it up. To clean it up. And I just want to read to you what the statement said. I just want to make sure I have everything in order for you guys to make sure that what I'm saying is correctly. Okay, this is everything. Okay. So, Mr. Combs instructs his staff to always contact Mr. Muhammad if they are ever pulled over by the police in Miami or California. Under information and belief that Mr. Muhammad spoke with the LAPD after G was shot at the studio, the recording studio. The LAPD was in the studio and witnessed the blood in the restroom, and they went with the claims that the shooting of G occurred outside of the studio, which that's completely false because, like I said, Rodney Jones had the proof of it that it happened inside the studio, not outside. And they were instructed by Sean Diddy Combs, allegedly, to say that the shooting happened outside the studio when apparently that was a lie and that was false. This was all thanks to Mr. Muhammad's connection with the law enforcement. Mr. Jones has no reason to disbelieve that Mr. Combs had seen firsthand through the shooting of G, and so critically silenced the LAPD and the media that Mr. Combs indeed has the power to harm him. Okay? When you are rich and famous like that, you have the media in your pocket, you have the police in your pocket, you have the judge, you have whoever in your pocket to do your bidding and to clean up the mess that you got yourself involved with. And that's clearly what happened in 2022 with Sean Diddy Combs and his son. There was an altercation with Mr. G. The conversation got heated, so heated that there was bullets flying in the bathroom, and someone got hurt and blew to death. Luckily, G survived the bullying. Thank God for Rodney Jones to put pressure on his wounds, and then finally called, not finally, but called 911 because everyone was just staring and didn't do anything until Rodney Jones said, "Can someone please call 911? Someone's dying out here. There's blood out everywhere." Like, you would think, common sense, call 911. Why you keep looking at the person? But anyway, I believe the lawsuit is very damaging. I believe that what Rodney Jones is saying is absolutely true, because why would he lie? Why would he lie and say that he has hundreds of videos and auto recording if he's not telling the truth? I believe this is very damaging, and I'm very, very surprised the prosecution, have not used this yet, because this is part of the charge that's against Sean Diddy Combs. It is. And especially with Kristina Khorram, she's involved in this too. And according to the lawsuit of Rodney Jones, and I'm just going to read to you briefly what he said about Kristina Khorram, aka KK. KK responded to Mr. Jones' complaint with you, known Sean, will be Sean. KK also attempted to downplay of Mr. Combs' groping of Mr. Jones' anus and genitalia as a friendly horseplay. Well, let me get this straight. Let me tell you something, okay? Any straight man is not going to play with another man's anus or genitalia, okay? I don't give a damn what you say. Horseplay my butt, okay? That is just very sick and deranged, okay? No one's not going to do that unless you're gay, okay? No heterosexual man is going to think that that's okay to play with another man's genitals. I'm sorry. And that's just horseplaying, and that's what she said. Yeah, right. Not horseplaying. Sean Diddy Combs wanted something from Rodney Jones, okay? And Rodney Jones was not having it, okay? Rodney Jones is a straight man. He is not gay. He doesn't swing that way. And again, I just want to make it very clear, nothing against gay men. Nothing against gay men. Now, we're in 2025. If you're gay, be gay. Be gay. Even though I have different opinions about it, but that's a different conversation to have. Be gay. It's not taboo anymore, okay? But it seemed like Sean Diddy Combs wanted to get his hands on Rodney Jones, and Rodney said, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. Really? Listen. If you like someone, okay, you don't do that, okay? If you think that this is a good person and you like the way you like his work ethic, then you take him out to eat. You take him out to a bar to have a drink. But you don't mess around like that, especially if that's a heterosexual man, okay? And for her to downplay it, like horse playing around, it's just sick and demented. And she is sick and demented for doing that. And Mr. Jones was not having that, okay? Now, like I said, she's involved in this. Her whole fingerprint is involved in this, okay? For her to say that she had nothing to do with it, she just worked for Sean Diddy Combs as a chief of staff, that's just bullshit. That's just bullshit to me. And I don't buy it. I don't think anyone else buy it, because when you work for someone for so close, for so many years, you have to see something. See something, witness something, and she did nothing because, again, Sean Diddy Combs was paying her good money, supplying him drugs, mushrooms, pink cocaine, ketamine, you name it, it was supplied to him like she was some pharmacy, okay? Some pharmacy that he used fake names to get all these type of drugs, okay? Frank something, why you don't want to use your real name? Again, to cover his tracks, so just in case if this shit hits the fan, which it is, that it wouldn't come back to him. But apparently, a lot of things are coming back to Sean Diddy Combs and other people that were involved in this. You guys, okay, involved in this, and I believe KK, Kristina Khorram, she's involved in this too. And I just don't understand why the prosecutors are not using her. But again, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just trying to follow the trail and follow the breadcrumbs. And by reading this lawsuit, maybe they are. Maybe they have her on standby. Maybe if things go south during the trial, they're going to use her to testify against Sean Diddy Combs, and same thing with Rodney Jones. It's a possibility, but I understand what the prosecution are trying to do. They're trying to paint a picture of Sean Diddy Combs. It's like baking a cake. There's like steps. When you bake a cake, you need eggs, you need flour, you need sugar, you need all these ingredients, and then there's layers after layers after layers after layers. So I get it. I get what they're doing, but I hope and pray they use Rodney Jones as a witness, because he's a credible witness. And if is if it's true, which I believe it's true, what he stated in his lawsuit, that he has evidence, he has recordings and auto recording as well, then that's very damaging to Sean Diddy Combs' case. The defense team cannot say, "Oh, this was fabricated," "Oh, this was a lie," or someone tampering with the auto recording, especially if the FBI has it and they check the analysis and everything, make sure that it's legit and it's not fake. Then he is screwed. He's cooked. And if the prosecutor is going to do that and it has some type of leverage, then Sean Diddy Combs might as well take a deal, which he turned down. He turned down a 15-year sentence. Okay, he might as well, because it takes one case, one count for him to be charged, and then he is in prison for life, with no possibility of parole, for life. Okay, so that I just wanted to give you my theory and my perspective, and just thinking, like, how come they haven't used these two people yet? And maybe they are. I don't know. I'm just like thinking out loud and then trying to like put it together and just like trying to like figure out, are they going to use these two people as their witnesses for them to testify against Sean Diddy Combs? Is Kristina Khorram is working on a deal? Is she trying to work on a deal so she doesn't face prison time? I don't know. I believe Rodney Jones, his lawsuit is it's credible. It is, because I don't believe he's lying. Why would he lie? What reason does he have to gain to lie? He had a job to do to produce a love album for Sean Diddy Combs, and Sean Diddy Combs was starting to get fresh. He started to get fresh, and then he saw his eyes on Rodney Jones, and then he just wanted to grope him and want him to swing that other way, saying that's fine. You should do it too, because everyone is doing it. And Rodney goes, "Nah, man, nah, I'm not into that. I'm not into that. No, thank you. I came to do a job, to produce your album, and that is it, bro. Okay, I'm not into that. Okay, if you're into that, good for you, but I'm not into that." And then Sean Diddy Combs was trying to convince him that's normal. People do it in the music industry. Obviously, a lot of people have been, swinging the other way, which no one doesn't care. Just speak your truth and be honest, be authentic. But just to hide it and try to force someone to have sex with you when they're not even gay, they're heterosexual, is just ridiculous, okay? And make it seem like that's okay. And that's not what Rodney Jones was into, okay? He was not into that at all, and he felt disrespected. He felt violated because he was being groped by him. Other people that were involved in this, that were in Sean Diddy Combs' home as well. It's just disgusting, and it's just crazy. It is, and it's just sad. And I just pray that there's justice for everyone that was involved in the despicable situation that they were in with Sean Diddy Combs. And I hope and also that, he will testify against Sean Diddy Combs and among other people too. So we just have to wait and see for more people to come up and testify. And I just can't wait. Who else is going to take the stand? I believe after the Memorial Day weekend, Capricorn, Clark. She was an assistant of Sean Diddy Combs, and she's going to testify against Sean Diddy Combs and tell people how he was with her, which that's going to be very, very interesting, and I'm going to follow up on that and let you guys know about that testimony once it starts on Tuesday. And I just want to say again, thank you so much, you guys, for watching and listening. I'm so grateful and thankful for each and one of you taking your busy day out of your time just to listen, to watch, and to comment. And I just love you all, and I really appreciate you, everyone, just watching what I have to say with That's It. And the whole Sean Diddy Combs trial, it just getting more crazier than ever. So stay tuned for more. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching That's It with Cheryl, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.